Hey, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Yeah, it's not what's up, it's what up. And if you from the Motor City, which is Detroit, y'all, it's what up, doe. Anywho, it is Friday. Yes. Say a little prayer. Thank God for this day of the week. It's September 5th, and it is 2:41 in the a.m. I'm 11 minutes late getting started, and I need to be done quick, fast, and in a hurry because I am way behind on my paperwork, and I promised people that it would be done today. So I ain't got time to go back and forth with you folk. No, seriously, I want to get something out and hopefully convey a couple, 2, 3 messages before I get into my paperwork. I've been talking a little bit about, or a roundabout way of talking about fact versus fiction. And I got these new readers, y'all. And the selling points were pure fiction, but they work. So I'm not going to complain too much. Yeah, I am old enough to wear, bifocals, and I've worn them for a few years now. And I usually wear no line progressive. So you remember back in the day, if you're as old as I am, they had the little thumbprint kind of imprint on the glasses to let you know this portion was the reading portion. But the no line progressives let you know, okay, usually the top half is for distance and the bottom half of the glasses are for reading. And I didn't want any kind of demarcation on my glasses to indicate, hey, this sister's wearing bifocals. Because I said I've been wearing them for a goodly number of years. And for those of you who don't know, having diabetes impacts your vision, and I have a cataract, a sugar deposit in my right eye that right now is not obstructing my vision, but it has the potential to grow. So if you have diabetes, you are prone to cataracts. Aging makes you prone to cataracts as well, but diabetes oftentimes speeds the process. But I didn't get on here to give you like medical information. I wanted to talk about telling the truth. And so the selling point of these glasses was that they adjust to your vision. And they transition to sunglasses. I know they block the blue light. Excellent. And the reading portion is the exact number on my prescription. So, they serve a purpose, but they don't do everything that they said they do. Much like some of the people in our lives. That's the point I was getting to. And I want to say the selling point is pure fiction. And, I started thinking about my selling points in relation to my circle, in relation to me connecting with other folks. And I was having a conversation with someone much younger than me yesterday. And I was breaking some things down as far as our personal isms in conjunction with blatant systemic racism. And this youngster was pretty much saying, I never thought of things that way. And then I told them how, my job is often a tenuous balance of, trying to circumvent systemic racism and certain aspects of it, because a lot of what I do, you know, plugs into the system. So I have to be very careful about, how I do certain aspects, because I don't want to feed into the problem on either side. So this youngster, had a new appreciation for what I do and how I do it after I finished talking to them. And it's the same for my personal connections. And this person asked me, well, why didn't you continue on to be, a therapist or something of this nature? And I said, I don't like people that much. I had to be brutally honest. I don't like people that much. Because after many years of doing this work, people continue to see you only as good as your last favor. Think about that. And we have many people in our lives that know when to find us, how to find us, always find us when they want something. But can't be bothered to pick up the phone to say, hey, drop dead. That part. You're only as good as your last favor. And I need to be real about that, and I need to be real about the folks that are energy vampires. And I can say at this moment, I'm thinking of two people in particular. And one has what the old saints used to refer to as a Jezebel spirit. Now that may not seem like anything to most folks, but if you're I want to say, healthy overthinker, you have some serious critical thinking skills. That's what I mean by a healthy overthinker. See, when most people think of overthinking, they think of, angst-ridden, anxiety-driven individuals. But I'm always the person that's asking the question behind the question that people dance around but never fully address, which leads to a lot of speculation and a lot of conjecture and a lot of just misunderstanding. I'm not that person. And then, there's the faction of folks who will answer the questions but get irritated by you asking them, which lets you know you're on the right track to discovery. See, when I say I'm surgical with the truth, I'm that person that's in there. We refer to that as motivational interviewing. But see, I don't get into, well, how does that make you feel? Do you want to expand on that answer? I'm not that person. I will tell you, that's the dumbest crap I've ever heard. And you're going to hurt a lot of people with the outcome. Now, that's what you need to be thinking about. But see, because we're tap dancing around that truth, we go to the school of FAFO, because so-and-so doesn't know what they're talking about. And I've come to this conclusion repeatedly. based on my line of work. This is a story that I can convey. Now, I can't talk about individual clients. That's taboo. But there's a story from many, many years ago. Yeah. Tell people, hey, you know what happens in this spot. Why do you keep going to this spot? And they give me all kinds. Oh, I'm strong enough. Oh, nothing. I'm not doing anything. Everybody else around me is doing stuff. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I hear you. And I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm wondering why you keep getting caught up when you know better. Because I've spoken directly to you. And now they're caught in something deep. And they'll go tell folks in this system, here we go with the systemic stuff. I need you to understand this. Folks in the system, they will tell folks in the system one story while you're watching behavior that you know full well. You know the outcome of the behavior, while this person over here doesn't get any of that stuff and wants to be the hero. Who do they listen to? So, I'm going to tell folks to go off the grid and unplug from the system and reserve yourselves by disconnecting from energy vampires. I know it's a long roundabout story, but I wanted you to get the full emphasis. Yeah, I know it's emphasis, but I made you pay attention, didn't I?